Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. One question I get asked quite often in my live streams is whether or not eating honey, consuming honey is vegan. And a lot of people say, there's many different opinions regarding this. It's not absolutely clear cut if honey is vegan or not. And I have a different opinion. I think, opinions are fine, but I think if you really look deeply into the issue, that you'll see that it's not just a matter of opinion. I'm going to aim to show you here that it's a matter of logical fact that consuming honey is not vegan. So let's see why I believe that. So if we really want to try to figure out if a certain food or product is vegan or not, I think it makes a heck of a lot of sense to understand what veganism means. What does it mean for someone or something to be vegan? And I think a great place to start would be looking at the definition of veganism from the Vegan Society. Yes, no definition is 100% perfect, but I think it captures most of the essential elements. So let's have a look at it. It says, veganism is a philosophy and a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. Alright, so there's a couple things in this definition of veganism that I want to pull out and apply this to our analysis of honey here. The first one is as far as possible and practicable, meaning is it absolutely necessary to consume honey? And it's not possible, it's not practicable to be able to exist, to be a healthy person or what have you. We wouldn't get enough calories or something like that. And it's obvious, absolutely not. There's absolutely no necessary reason for a person to consume honey. So it's very possible and very practicable to be completely vegan and not consume honey and be perfectly healthy and satisfy all your food and nutrition needs. So given that honey is not some kind of essential nutrient, I could hear someone reply though, hey, I still need something to sweeten my foods and I need to use honey, and my reply would be, no, you don't need to use honey. There's many other sweeteners, completely plant-based sweeteners you can use. Off the top of my head, agave, maple syrup, and you guys can comment a whole bunch down there what's your favorite plant-based sweetener. Alright, so let's move on to what I think is actually the most compelling reason why honey is not vegan. Let's again look at the definition of veganism, and this time I want to focus your attention on the part here that says we're against all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So I want to state up front here, I'm not an expert in honey harvesting, beekeeping, or anything like that. I've never done anything like that in my life. So for this video's purposes, I'm not even going to address potential cruelty to animals here, to bees, but I am going to focus on exploitation because, as I'll argue here, I think it's an undeniable fact that there's clearly a lot of exploitation going on when harvesting honey from bees. As you'll see here, this is all about definitions, what words mean, what veganism means, what exploitation means. So let's take a look at several definitions of the word exploitation from CambridgeDictionary.com. The use of something in order to get an advantage from it. The use or development of something for profit or progress in business. And the act of using someone unfairly for your own advantage. So looking at these three definitions of the word exploitation, we see something that kind of ties them all together. Basically something like that a person derives benefit, makes some kind of gain, typically financial, but not necessarily, but some kind of benefit or gain by exploiting, by benefiting from the work or something that someone else does, taking their work away from them, unfairly utilizing their bodies or something like that to produce work, or in this case, honey. So yeah, this is absolutely 100% exploitation. There's no way to get around that. Bees produce honey for bees. That's why they make honey. If you take honey away from a bee for your own personal benefit, you're exploiting the bee colony. I mean, even if you're not selling the honey to make money in some kind of business manner, even if you're just like taking the honey for your own personal benefit, again, you're benefiting, you're enjoying the benefits of honey. It's sweetening properties and what else, maybe it's nutritional value at the expense of taking it away from bees. So that's why I believe it's absolutely clear, if you truly believe in the definition of veganism, that we're against all forms of cruelty and exploitation of animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose, then to me it's just a slam dunk no-brainer that, yeah, bees are inherently, they're necessarily being exploited when you take their honey away from them. And that's why I think it's not a matter of opinion or anything like this, like some vegans think it's okay. I mean, you might think it's okay, that just means you don't fully agree with the definition of veganism. You think that in some circumstances, when it's convenient for you, you can exploit an animal and take its work away from them, its product of the colony, in this case, honey. So anyway, I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you guys still think that there's any argument for a vegan lifestyle being compatible with consuming honey? Like I said, there's like vegans that consume honey. They're sometimes called vegans, and okay, if you want to be called a vegan, that's cool, but that's a whole different thing from vegan. So yeah, vegans can freely exist. I'm not saying you're bad people or anything like that if you happen to be one. I'm just letting you know that if you truly believe in what the definition of veganism says, the essential points of not exploiting animals, you shouldn't be consuming honey. It just violates that exploitation feature in the definition explicitly. I don't see any way around it. If you do see a way around that, I'd love to hear your argument. Please state it down below. Be as polite as possible and state it as clearly as possible why you think that consuming honey, by, I should say, taking bees' honey away from them, is not exploitation. Again, you're deriving benefit by taking something from another person, or in this case an animal. Let me know how you work around that, because I don't think there is one. Anyway, if you got something on this video, hit like. Let me know if you've heard other people try to weigh in on this issue, and if they have had what you perceive as a solid, airtight argument, as I see it is. Like I said, I don't think it's a matter of opinion. It's just a matter of seeing what these words mean, and it's absolutely clear that consuming honey is not vegan. So like, subscribe, and until next time, remember, doesn't suck being vegan.
My smile may be pretty, but it's all filled with lies. And if you look closely, see, does it reach my eyes?
Try to weigh in on this issue, and if they have had what you perceive as a solid, airtight argument, as I see it is. Like I said, I don't think it's a matter of opinion. It's just a matter of seeing what these words mean, and it's absolutely clear that consuming honey is not vegan. So like, subscribe, and until next time, remember, doesn't suck being vegan.